UFC just released the title fight for UFC 295, but they have yet to release the title fight for UFC 294, which will obviously be headlined by Islam Makhachev. The question is, who will he be taking on? And if you're the UFC, you need to wait. You need to wait it out. You need to see who comes out on top against Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. But does it matter? But the fact is, you need to keep that fight available and not make that fight. So I don't think they make the official announcement until after that fight takes place. And if they do, that'd be kind of dumb, because those two are guys that could get the title shot. And if you make the announcement before that fight, it kind of dies down a little bit of the hype for the fight, because the stakes in that fight could be big. You could get the next title challenger in that fight between Gaethje and Poirier. But who will actually be challenging Islam Makhachev at UFC 294? I think there's a good amount of guys that could be. You got Charles. Charles has said he's probably not going to be available. So I'm going to rule that one out. But then you got Poirier, Gaethje. Those are available. But how likely is that? Not very likely, because they're probably going to go to war. And I don't know if either of them would be ready nor willing to step in on just a couple months after a big fight for the BMF title. Then you got Volkanovski, who's just coming off the big win. And that is a fight that I think is most likely going to happen because Volk wants it. The question is, does Islam want it? Does Islam want that fight? I would err on the side that he's good with it and he's down for it if it's on, if it's in Abu Dhabi and he doesn't have to go to Australia again and deal with that time difference and the IV thing. That weight cut looked awful for him, and you could tell that it wasn't ideal circumstances for him. He's used to fighting in Abu Dhabi. That's his part of the world where he gets the most support. I think he would be willing to take on Volk. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants the winner between Gaethje and Poirier. But my prediction is Volk wants it. Volk will get it. However, there is one other curveball that could be thrown into the equation. Islam Makhachev could turn into the challenger himself. And why do I say that? He could challenge for the 170 belt against Leon Edwards. How likely is that? Probably pretty unlikely, but he did say that he wanted Leon in Abu Dhabi. After Leon beat Kamaru Usman at UFC 286, he said, I want Leon Edwards in Abu Dhabi for the 170 belt. And Islam seems to be getting a lot of stuff that he's asking for. So, with the possibility of him not having a fight at 155 due to the contenders not being there, he could actually make the move up to 170 and title or challenge for the 170 belt and go for double champ status. I don't think that's very likely, because I think Volk will end up getting it, but that is a possibility. We got to look at all the possibilities here. That is a possibility. One last possibility that I think would be absolutely insane, but we've seen crazier things. Michael Chandler was looking for a fight with Conor McGregor, but that doesn't look like that's going to turn out. And, maybe if the UFC was promising him a fight with with Conor McGregor, and that doesn't look like it's going to pan out, or Conor doesn't want to fight him anymore, maybe they compensate him with a title shot against Islam Makhachev, which I think would be kind of a fun fight. Deserving? Absolutely not, because he's coming off a loss to a guy like Dustin Poirier, and hasn't had in the best wins in the UFC. I mean, his losses to Gaethje, Oliveira, and Poirier. So he's 2-3 in the UFC. Lost to three of the guys that are in the running for the title shot. If he were to get it over them, would be pretty nuts. But we've seen crazier things, and people say Michael Chandler's got that Dana White privilege, so that's a wild possibility. Don't think it'll happen. I'm going to lean towards Volk versus Islam 2 in Abu Dhabi like they agreed to after the fight in Perth. But will it get signed and will it get made happen? We will see. That's what I'm going to lean to. That's why I think Islam's going to be taking on a UFC 294. If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. If you want to support the channel to get more videos in the future, hit the subscription button. Appreciate you for the support. Hey, Jai Picks here, signing out.